Out of the gun for Rodgers. Lets it fly. Catch, turn, touchdown, Freiermuth.
The Steelers didn't just win, they detonated in Indianapolis. 6 turnovers, 5 sacks, total domination. But the real shock came from one throw. A single pass from Aaron Rodgers in the second quarter flipped the entire game on its head and left every fan and every Colt staring in disbelief.
The entire script was flipped today. The Steelers, 6 takeaways, complete story of the day right there. They were just able to take the ball away on special teams, on defense, interceptions, sacks.
The Pittsburgh defense dominated from the opening possession. The Steelers forced 6 turnovers during the game, the highest total in a single contest for the franchise since 2010. The defensive unit recorded 5 sacks of Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson, who struggled with accuracy and decision-making throughout the afternoon. T.J. Watt led the defensive effort with 2.5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. The outside linebacker has been Pittsburgh's most consistent defensive player throughout the 2025 season, recording 9.5 sacks through 9 games. His pressure on Richardson disrupted Indianapolis's offensive rhythm and created opportunities for the secondary to capitalize on rushed throws. Minkah Fitzpatrick intercepted Richardson twice, returning one for 23 yards deep into Indianapolis territory. The All-Pro safety's ball-hawking ability has been a cornerstone of Pittsburgh's defense since his acquisition in 2019. Through 9 games of the 2025 season, Fitzpatrick had recorded 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 46 total tackles. The Steelers' defensive performance marked the first time since 2010 that the unit forced 6 turnovers in a single game. That previous occurrence came against the Los Angeles Chargers, when Pittsburgh recorded 2 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries in a 24-17 victory. The defensive dominance against Indianapolis reminded observers of the franchise's tradition of physical, turnover-generating units. Aaron Rodgers completed 25 of 35 passes for 203 yards in the victory over Indianapolis. His completion percentage of 71.4% represented efficient management of the offense without taking unnecessary risks. The modest yardage total reflected the game script, as Pittsburgh's defense provided short fields and scoring opportunities that required minimal offensive production. The defining moment came in the second quarter, with the Steelers leading 7-3. Following a Minkah Fitzpatrick interception at the Indianapolis 30-yard line, Pittsburgh's offense took over in prime field position. On 2nd and goal from the 12-yard line, Rodgers dropped back and surveyed the defense. He identified tight end Pat Freiermuth running a seam route against man coverage. Rodgers delivered a perfectly placed throw to the back corner of the end zone. Freiermuth caught the ball while maintaining possession and getting both feet in bounds for a touchdown. The 12-yard scoring strike gave Pittsburgh a 14-3 lead and silenced the Lucas Oil Stadium crowd. According to Behind the Steel Curtain, the touchdown flipped the game's momentum and established Pittsburgh's control of the contest. Aaron Rodgers has faced the Indianapolis Colts 16 times during his NFL career, compiling a record of 10-6 against the franchise. His first meeting with Indianapolis came on October 19, 2008, when he was in his first season as the Green Bay Packers starting quarterback. Rodgers completed 16 of 27 passes for 186 yards and 1 touchdown in an 18-16 Green Bay victory at Lambeau Field. The 2008 season marked Rodgers' transition from backup to starter after Brett Favre departed Green Bay. He finished that inaugural campaign with 4,038 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions across 16 games. The Packers finished 6-10, missing the playoffs, but Rodgers showed flashes of the elite talent that would define his career. Rodgers' most dominant performance against Indianapolis occurred on November 22, 2015 at Lambeau Field. He completed 25 of 36 passes for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 30-27 Green Bay victory. The Colts entered that game with a 4-5 record, while the Packers held an 8-2 mark. Rodgers threw touchdown passes of 47, 7, and 6 yards, demonstrating the precision and arm strength that made him one of the league's most dangerous quarterbacks. Another notable performance came on November 6, 2016, when Rodgers and the Packers defeated Indianapolis 31-26 at Lucas Oil Stadium. He completed 28 of 38 passes for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The victory improved Green Bay's record to 4-3 while dropping Indianapolis to 3-5. Rodgers connected with Jordy Nelson twice for touchdowns and added another scoring strike to Randall Cobb. The 2021 season featured Rodgers' most recent meeting with Indianapolis before joining Pittsburgh. On November 14, 2021, the Packers defeated the Colts 31-26 at Lucas Oil Stadium. Rodgers completed 27 of 38 passes for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns without an interception. His passer rating of 120.8 represented one of his best performances that season. The victory improved Green Bay's record to 8-2, while Indianapolis fell to 5-5. Across his career against Indianapolis, Rodgers has thrown 2,847 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. His completion percentage against the Colts stands at 64.7%, slightly below his career average of 65.3%. His passer rating of 96.4 against Indianapolis ranks in the middle tier of his performance against AFC opponents. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed Rodgers in June 2025 after he spent one injury-plagued season with the New York Jets and one full season attempting to salvage their playoff hopes. His arrival in Pittsburgh represented the franchise's attempt to solve persistent quarterback instability following Ben Roethlisberger's retirement. Through 8 games of the 2025 season, Rodgers had thrown 17 touchdown passes against 5 interceptions with a passer rating of 105.0. Pat Freiermuth has emerged as Rodgers' most reliable target during the 2025 season. The tight end from Penn State was drafted in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft by Pittsburgh. Through 9 games of the 2025 season, Freiermuth had caught 43 passes for 487 yards and 6 touchdowns. His chemistry with Rodgers has developed steadily, with the veteran quarterback frequently looking to the tight end on critical downs. The touchdown to Freiermuth marked Rodgers' 17th of the season through 9 games. The pace projected to 32 touchdown passes over a full 17-game schedule, which would represent his highest total since throwing 48 in 2020. The statistical production at age 41 had exceeded expectations and generated discussions about extending his contract beyond the current season. Just 2 weeks earlier, Rodgers had thrown for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 23-9 victory over the Cleveland Browns. That performance demonstrated his ability to manage games efficiently when the defense performed well. The win over Cleveland had temporarily improved Pittsburgh's record to 4-2 before consecutive losses to Baltimore and Green Bay dropped them to 4-4. The victory over Indianapolis improved the Steelers' record to 5-4, moving them back above .500 and keeping playoff hopes alive. Pittsburgh's remaining schedule included games against division rivals Baltimore and Cincinnati twice each, creating a challenging path to the postseason. The performance against Indianapolis provided momentum heading into a crucial stretch of the season. The Intelligencer reported that the much-maligned Steelers defense forces 6 turnovers in win over Colts. The description as much maligned reflected criticism the unit had received following poor performances against Baltimore and Green Bay. The redemption against Indianapolis demonstrated the defense's capability when executing the game plan properly. Jaylen Warren contributed 93 rushing yards on 18 carries, providing balance to Pittsburgh's offensive attack. The second-year running back from Oklahoma State has shared carries with Najee Harris throughout the 2025 season. Warren's 5.2 yards per carry against Indianapolis represented his best efficiency of the season and allowed the Steelers to control possession time. The Steelers held the ball for 34 minutes and 12 seconds compared to Indianapolis's 25 minutes and 48 seconds. The time of possession advantage kept Pittsburgh's defense fresh while exhausting the Colts' defensive unit. Rodgers' ability to convert third downs at a 47% rate contributed to extended drives that wore down Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson completed 18 of 34 passes for 187 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions for Indianapolis. The second-year quarterback from Florida was sacked 5 times and fumbled twice, losing 1. His passer rating of 41.7 represented the worst performance of his young career. The Colts' offensive struggles stemmed from both Richardson's poor decisions and Pittsburgh's dominant defensive front. The final score of 28-10 reflected Pittsburgh's comprehensive victory. The Steelers scored touchdowns on 4 of their first 6 possessions before coasting through the fourth quarter with a comfortable lead. The margin of victory represented Pittsburgh's largest of the 2025 season and their most complete performance in all 3 phases.